Greetings, boxing fans. Man, just finished watching Hot 97 interview with Ebro and Rosenberg. Man, it was a great interview. I mean, a lot of unanswered questions was answered during that interview about Terence Crawford and how he felt um, going into the fight, and just how he feels and how he looks at Arrow as a whole and Arrow's team as a whole after, post fight. Now, and I think all those questions was answered. And I'm gonna just talk about it briefly, and then we'll shut it down. But what's going on with your Iceman? So basically, I like to say, like, even the topic of this whole deal is says Terence Crawford is misunderstood. I think a lot of people just not knowing this guy and this guy being very standoffish. I think they look at that as in a negative manner, whereas you could tell a person's character based on when they win, when they're on top, on what kind of person they are. And right now, I'll be honest with you, just seeing how this dude beat Errol and how everything he said came into play, and how it came into play, and how he's so humble, and how he's handling the whole thing, and how he's giving homage to Errol and his team. I mean, I can't help but to respect this guy, and I think everybody else needs to be on that same accord. Salute to you, Iceman, once again. They talked about it. First thing they talked about was, how he was feeling, and he talked about how his body was sore. His body wasn't sore because of getting hit or anything like that. He was sore because he had to rehydrate in a fast manner. You know how these guys drop weight and they have to rehydrate, and basically he's back to once in his ones back to his in the 160s where he normally walks at walking weight. And y'all know fight night, well, not fight night, but the night prior to on Friday, he was 146.8, and now he's back to 160 whatever. So his body was going through that, and Terence Crawford walking weight in this 160. That's something that a lot of people always ask, and you heard it from the horse's mouth himself. He said it. Something else that was talked about, who he wanted to fight next. And, I'm going to touch on one of the people they spoke about was Boots Ennis. And he said that Boots is a possibility, but he doesn't want to fight Boots because he can't really get anything out of Boots. He's trying to, I mean, he's spoke on his age. The guy's 36 years old. Being 36 years old, he don't have much time left in boxing. So it's really like, hey, let me get what I got to get and let me get on out of here. Because as time goes on, that's one of the things he spoke about. I didn't really have it. Boots is not my picture. They spoke on Keith Thurman. When Keith Thurman was at the top, Keith Thurman didn't even acknowledge him. Didn't even make him seem like he was alive. Didn't even speak his name. So he's getting the same thing from Terence Crawford that Errol Spence was giving him. Those guys are not gonna speak about or within Keith because of how Keith treated them. That old saying. Turn the music down a little bit. What goes around comes around. If the music is too loud, let me know. You can hear me now? Let me know if I'm still breaking up, Iceman. Let me know if I'm still breaking. All right. So the next topic at hand is they spoke on the same topic. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. They know the music's too loud or if I'm breaking up. I appreciate it. The next thing he was talking about was so Bruce Ennis out of the picture. Keith Thurman, no, I'm not going to give Keith Thurman a chance. Keith Thurman didn't even give me no type of love. He didn't even say my name. Nah, he's not messing with Keith Thurman. Spoke about Tank Davis. Tank Davis is too small. He said he's not going down. And we all know Tank Davis is not coming up. So Tank Davis is definitely out of the picture. 154, and that ain't going to happen, bro. You know, if Tank's talking about fighting Crawford, that ain't nothing but this capping. That's just to get his name moved around there. Like right now, if y'all don't notice, everybody's talking about Tank Davis and Monster and Nui. So it's Tank against the world, you know. But no, Tank Davis is too light in the ass. It'll definitely not be a Tank Davis and Terence Crawford. The next person they spoke about was Canelo Alvarez. He said basically Canelo Alvarez is too big. Pause. 168. He said he ain't going up that far. He said his maximum weight limit he's going up is 154, and that's what it is. 154 or nothing. You know. So I think that Terence Crawford is ready to move to 154. He said that next is Jermell Charlo. He said he really wants to fight Jermell Charlo, who has all the marbles at 154. He said that he wants to fight Jermell because he just simply don't like the dude. Nothing personal, I just don't like him. That's why I want to fight him. So that's the situation, you know. He just, but he says he has prior obligations to go ahead and fight Errol Spence. So he's going to take care of his prior obligations to fight Errol Spence, possibly in December. And if that fight with Jermell is still out there, he definitely wants it. You know, he said this fight with Errol marinated for about 5 years, so there was a creme de la creme, and he has nothing but respect for Errol. He said some things that Errol didn't want to do, but he wanted to do it. And Errol put down his guard, and Errol did it for him. Errol did every and anything to make this fight happen. And with that being said, that's why he respect and pays homage to Errol Spence. Errol Spence was a man of his word. He said he was going to make the fight happen, right? And that's what he did. And they did it for legacy. They did it because it made sense. And they did it because all the wonderful fans in the world wanted to see this fight. So, great deal. But he said he always had respect for Errol Spence, man. He said it's just the fans, man. You guys out there, y'all started all this shit trying to make them two dudes enemies. He said he had no problem with Errol Spence, man. He said he's always been a fan of Errol Spence. You know, even when Errol Spence got hurt, he said he prayed for him. He said he's a fighter himself, and he understands why Errol Spence fights. He fights to feed his family. You know, so he said that he's always been a fan of Errol ever since the amateurs. You know, he's a fan of Errol, not an enemy. That's one thing we all got to understand. You want to see Boots and Crawford, but he said he can't get nothing out of fighting Boots. It's risk with no benefit, and you know, I don't foresee that happening unless all the fans continue to call for it. You know, because I really do think that after he fights Errol in December, he's moving up. You know, he's grown into the 147-pound weight division, and he's basically saying that, look, I done did my thing, I done did everything I could do at 147. Now I need to go to 154 and clear that up because I'm at the end of my career, so I got to hurry and do what I got to do. I think that's where he's at with it all. He said that how much he not love, but how much he respected Errol Spence, man. He said Errol Spence gave him the opportunity. If it wasn't for Errol Spence, this whole fight wouldn't have happened. You know, he said that he really pays homage to this man, bro. He has the utmost respect for Errol Spence, man. And he basically said, you know, Ebron asked him to, Why do you want to fight Errol Spence? Why should we pay another $85 to pay-per-view to see y'all? He said, because EJ. He said EJ is the type of guy that's gonna go back to the drawing board. That's gonna, he's very strong-willed. He's gonna come back hungry. He's gonna fix his issues, and he's gonna come back strong, man. I mean, he's a warrior, bro. Simply and plain. Errol Spence wants his get back, and it's like a contracted situation where he has to do it, bro. He doesn't have a choice. But at the same time, this man gave me the opportunity. So guess what? I'm gonna get this man back the same opportunity, and that's where it's all at right now, man. I mean, it's out of love and respect, bro. It's like two warriors that got respect for each other. And this guy right here, I'm talking about Terence Crawford, at the top of his game, and the respect that he has, man, for Errol Spence is like through the roof, bro. And I got to take my hat off to him. It gives me a whole nother lenses to look at him at. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought he was an arrogant type of dude. And me, for one, I know his whole outlook was misunderstood. Outside looking in, bro, you think you know these fighters, but you don't know these fighters personally, man. I mean, a lot of people took offense to him because he wouldn't do interviews. He wouldn't take pictures at times. But, like I said, you don't know what's going on with these fighters at certain times, man. And we got to respect their privacy. We got to respect their, just everything, man. Celebrity, you don't know how that shit feel. Walking up to you, ask me for this, ask me for that shit, bro. I mean, I think that shit could become aggravating, man. So you got to look at it from that standpoint and respect it. So I think, like I said, this whole topic was, I think Bud Crawford was misunderstood. And I think that Bud Crawford is pound for pound the best fighter in the world. I think that I still do want to, I don't think that, I know that. I definitely still want to see Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence 2. I think it's going to be a better fight. I think it's going to be a different fight. Do I think something's wrong with Errol? I think Errol was caught up in the moment, man. I think having everything, all the moments on the line, the moment was too big for him, bro. And I think that shit got to him, bro. So that was the whole deal. For sure, Iceman. So with that being said, man, I'm definitely gonna support. We got to give Bud did what he had to do. He did what he had to do, bro. And I think that he did it in a remarkable fashion, and we have to salute him. That's just what it is, bro. We can't take shit from him. We can't say that. All these excuses, bro. All these built-in excuses. Errol Spence ain't giving this dude, ain't making no excuses for himself. So the fans shouldn't do it either, bro. That's just simple and plain. Just stop all the bullshit. Stop all the excuses for these dudes. But these two dudes, if you look at everything, man, with the gate, these dudes, 21 mil live gate, pay-per-view, 700,000. These dudes gonna bring around $25 million each home to their family, bro. At their purses. Their purses is supposed to be $25 million. So if you ask me this here, nobody lost. You give me $25 million right now, bro, kick my ass, bro. I don't think I lost, bro. 25 mil, that dude could shut it down right now and be good for the rest of his life. Take care of his mom, dad, and his immediate family, good for the rest of his life, if he do the proper investments. So I don't think anybody lost when it comes to that particular fight. Even us, the fans, that's a question that we had for years, for like the last 5 years. Who will win out of Bud and Errol Spence and Bud Crawford? That shit was answered. So, that's a beauty by itself, just to have that question answered on who will be victorious between those two fighters. But enough of trying to take trying to just diminish the fight and what happened. But Crawford, man, number one pound for pound, and we shouldn't say anything different outside of that. Period. Errol Spence gonna dust himself off and try again, and hopefully he comes back bigger, stronger, stronger determination, and do what he's supposed to do. And if he wins, hopefully we see you the third time. Personally, I ain't gonna lie to you. That's what I want to happen. I mean, those two do so. I want.